What's up guys, it's Greeny here, welcome back to another video. In today's video guys, it'll be a fun one. We're doing some meme coin price predictions. If you like my content, please subscribe down below. YouTube does tell me that you guys are smashing that subscribe button, so let's get it from 25% now up to 30% so that you can help the channel grow and get this education out further. As always guys, do check out my trading group if you want. Obviously access to me daily, my education, my trade calls, over 300 members where we discuss and trade every single day. Check out using this code July_sale for a juicy 23% off either the lifetime or the month subscription. As always guys, here's the video. Alright guys, I've got a huge list of meme coins covering a lot of different blockchains, so I hope your meme coin is listed. If it isn't, obviously comment down below and I'll try and include it in a next video soon. Alright, so I thought I'd start at the top end guys. Obviously PEPE remains probably the most dominant meme coin this cycle as it was released in 2023. It's currently at 5 billion, but I easily think this pushes towards 20 billion guys. I think it's definitely not a bad sort of play for it to push up towards this sort of range up here guys over the coming year for sure. Like that's still like a juicy so 10 billion is very achievable, only being the 1.618 fib level. So for me, PEPE remains a top hold in my portfolio. Dogecoin, we're looking at a very bullish sort of situation here. We've obviously bounced off the 0.786. We're forming this bullish wedge right now, and I do think I might look for a potential long in the coming sort of weeks. But for me, guys, I don't know. Like a lot of people are like, oh, Greeny, is Doge ever going to get to $1? Look, it could, guys, given the right circumstances. And if we do take a look, okay, this was over a couple of weeks. It went from there to there. So it did a 12x, guys, a 12x in the space of a month. So in theory, guys, it can definitely still pump crazy. And that was 12x from around 10 billion all the way up to 70 billion. So, or a little bit less. So it was about 5 billion up to 20 to 70-ish billion. So guys, I think Doge can definitely do it, and this might be the breakout that we've been waiting for a very, very long time. Something like Shiba, guys, I'm completely avoiding. Very similar setup to what we're seeing on Doge at the moment. But for me, guys, PEPE and other tokens like BONK and those types of memes just are the narrative that you want to be in this cycle. So for me, Shiba, I actually think PEPE flips Shiba, even though Shiba's around that sort of 12 to 15 billion region. I think PEPE flips it this cycle, guys, and you heard it here first. All right, let's move into some newer tokens this cycle. Obviously the most hyped ones right now is the battle between the two cat memes and which one's going to get to a billion first. MOG, guys, I think MOG is a slower mover, but I do think MOG can definitely push towards that 5 billion sort of range. Like if you look at this sort of breakout targets that we're looking at just purely from here, so it's at 820 million, sorry. So a 2.5, so a 3.5x from here definitely puts it towards 3 to 4 billion. And that is, I think that's an easy breakout. Like if you consider this strength here from previous sort of breakouts. So for me, guys, MOG remains one of my top holdings, and I do see it sort of playing out towards that multi-billions, if not 5 billion in time. So you just have to stay patient with that. Obviously, the one that it's fighting for currently is PopCat, guys, which is currently, again, a very bullish chart. We're seeing, obviously, a lot of sort of bull flags being played out over a long period of time. We obviously broke up to 900 million already, but I think MOG might beat it, guys. But again, this is probably one that I think you might want to have exposure to if you get a nice pullback, okay? You don't want to be buying up here where it's at all-time highs already, but if you do see it come back to test some of this all-time highs previously, then perhaps that's maybe a really good opportunity to get into PopCat. But something like PopCat, guys, continues to dominate the memes, is one of the now top meme coins on Solana behind WIF and BONK. So something like this can definitely push towards that 3 to 5 billion range as well, guys. So that's my target for that. Ponky. Now, this is also a very dominant one that we're currently seeing on the timeline. I gave this to my group and also posted it for free on my Twitter page. So follow me, Greeny Trades. I gave it about here, guys, and it's obviously pumped over nearly a 2x, I think, from there this week. So 70% move over the past couple of days. So yeah, I think something like Ponky, where they dominate social media and have a very prominent community. They dominate essentially they raid a lot of posts on Twitter, but also they have a strong meme. And the chart is just, look at this. That's like such a beautiful continuation of bullish, like bull move, bull move, bull move after consolidation. Like, it's beautiful. So I think something like Ponky, guys, definitely pushes up towards that sort of $1 to $5 billion range, just depending on how good their socials continue to be. All right, guys, the next one is obviously one of the top dogs on Solana with, now I am less sort of hesitant towards higher price action with guys, purely because of the price action here. We obviously saw it rally all the way up to just shy of 5 billion earlier this year. But for me, guys, until we see some strength here, this probably sort of consolidates here for a very long time, deep into 2024, before maybe making its way back to the 4 billion sort of dollar range. For me, I think there's probably better opportunities like MOG, even PopCat, those types of Ponky for sure. Those types of memes probably have higher ROI compared to something like WIF at the moment, because there's just a lot of weakness here, okay? But I do still think that WIF can push towards that 5 to 10 billion sort of range in time, given the right circumstances in the market. All right, the other top competitor, which seems to be fighting it out with WIF right now, is obviously BONK. BONK's a very different play to WIF. Obviously, it has utility, it has BONKBot. They obviously have a legitimate business that gets revenue, guys, and they obviously sponsor a lot of in real life events, so they're everywhere. So you can't fade something like this. So for me, guys, I think this is definitely probably the one on Solana that does push towards that over 10 billion sort of dollar range. So if we do look at currently the fib from there, from price action, that is about a 2.4x. So 2.4x from here is about sort of 6 to 7 billion. So for me, obviously in a bull market, we can definitely target a lot higher. So I definitely think this is a $10 billion or more coin, guys, this cycle. And that is obviously BONK on Solana. The next one is obviously the top token on Base. Now there is a lot of FUD around Brett, as the devs do hold quite a lot of the supply. Again, I trade based on charts. Yes, you need to be considerate of something like that. But this token literally went from 300 million down here, so 280 million to 1.9 billion in literally a month. Okay, so that was, what's that, like a 7x or something? So for me, guys, this is one on my watch list. Okay, I wouldn't be buying just yet. Like, we're starting to see it get towards levels that I would love to buy. But for me, guys, the top meme coin on Base definitely starts to hit 5 billion this cycle, purely because of Coinbase just dominating this space and in a really macro and positive way for crypto. So you'd probably want to have exposure to the top meme coin on Base. All right, moving into a little bit more of the degen sector. The top dominant duck meme is obviously Epic. It has a lot of utility, guys. It has a lot of community members, and it's a beautiful chart. Like, we're seeing consolidation and then move up, consolidation, move up. What I would love to see it do is actually break this previous high here, master this, okay, and see a big sort of target here. If we obviously don't see volume come in, guys, then sadly this probably doesn't work out the way that I would like it to do. But ultimately, I'm watching price action in the coming sort of months to get up to this region and show me a breakout. Something like Epic definitely could hit a couple hundred million given the right circumstances. All right, moving on, guys. We've still got a lot of meme coins to cover, so be sure to stay because there are a lot, and I hope I cover yours. And obviously, if I don't, comment down below which meme coins you'd like me to cover in the next video. So this is Mew, guys. So Mew was rumored to be one of the top sort of cat plays on Solana, but has since obviously gone very much down and consolidated, because at the end of the day, it did pump very high, guys, okay? So right now, we're obviously sort of consolidating in this range. It probably could be a potential breakout opportunity here soon if you see volume come in down the bottom. So I'll be keeping an eye on this as a play. If we do see volume come in, I do think this pushes up towards a billion with time, given the right circumstances. So from here to all-time high is about a 2.5% move, which is just shy of a billion. But I think there's stronger players like PopCat and like MOG, Ponky, etc. on Solana. Even WIF, I'd probably say I'd rather hedge a bet on WIF than probably Mew. But again, I'm a trader, so I'll keep an eye on this chart. But I think this could potentially push towards that 500 to 1 billion sort of range again in the coming months. The next one, Michi, a very common favorite one on the timeline. A lot of weakness here for me. I'm not seeing it. Like, we obviously broke up here. We couldn't get past the golden pocket. We obviously has now set a lower high again. So I would love to sort of see maybe a potential swing trade if it does come back down to the 786 level. And then in time, obviously, we would see it sort of come back and maybe, yeah, if it retests this and creates a higher low. So here, guys, so it actually creates a higher low, then I'll probably look for a trade up towards its all-time highs, which isn't that high as it's only at 118 million at the moment. So it obviously hit about that 350 sort of mark. But I do think this one could, given the right circumstance, hit about 500 million to a billion, guys. All right, the top token on TON. Now, TON is fast becoming a very reputable chain. I obviously released 2 videos recently about how to snipe meme coins on TON and how to get started on TON, so do check them out. But something like this, I think definitely has potential. We actually look at this. This is actually a little cup and handle forming right now, which could see that sort of like retest the beautiful golden pocket region and then actually be a little lower time frame sort of trade up here. So something like this probably pushes towards 5 billion. I think inevitably all the tokens, all the top meme coins on each of the different blockchains are all worth over $5 to $10 billion this cycle, guys. So I think not on ton definitely pushes towards 5 to 10 billion this cycle, and it's currently at 1.6, and we are consolidating really nicely here. So it could be a really good trade over the coming weeks. A little bit more of a degen trade, but shout out to Shred in my group who shared this at 30K, guys, and it's at 4 million. And I got in at about 300K. So it's over a 10x for me right now. But again, something like this has such a strong meme culture, has such a strong ticker. And again, it's a very easy one to associate with. So something like Cook definitely can push towards that 50 to 100 million sort of market cap, which gives it a lot of upside still from current price action, guys. So something like this, I'm keeping a very close eye on to add to my bags. If we break down here, maybe a little double bottom, something like that, I'll be aping into Cook for higher over time. But yeah, I'm targeting sort of that 50 mil for something like Cook. Now, this is where we go a little bit left field, guys, because AVAX obviously has received a lot of FUD. But something like Cock, Inu, okay, so it potentially could come back, all right? So I'm keeping a very close eye on this chart. It is supporting off the 0.786 currently at price action. I usually love to trade that sort of level on Solana memes. So if you do think this is bottom, it's probably a good opportunity to maybe get in. And I would love to see some volume really kick in and a bit of love return to AVAX, guys. So Cock Inu, I think definitely can push towards an all-time high, towards that sort of $500 million range. All right. We ready? No, we haven't. And so, yeah, so what I wanted to do is obviously compare it with its second highest meme on AVAX. This one's called No Chill. Again, this probably is actually weaker than Cock Inu, so I probably don't touch like something like this. And to be honest, it's just not where you want to be putting your money, guys. Like you want to go with strength, and literally all the meme coins I've already covered have a lot more strength than something like No Chill. But do obviously keep an eye on No Chill here on AVAX. All right, let's go in the political sector, being an election year. Something like this. Donald Trump has been around for a while now on Solana. I did actively trade it from around 20 million all the way up to about 120 million. So we made a nice 5x. I obviously took all my profits because I'm an aggressive trader, but we are starting to see this massive bull flag play out. Again, it's really hard to pick which political meme coins will actually sort of play out longer term, but it has shown support exactly where Greeny loves it at the 0.786 sort of level. So for me, something like this could definitely push towards an all-time high, sort of at that $100 million range, and then likely fades off as the political narrative and the election sort of ends towards the end of this year. Conversely, we obviously have MAGA or Trump on ETH. Again, this one sort of broke out with the events that occurred on the weekend. And what we're currently seeing is consolidation again in this golden pocket. Something like this, again, is probably for me a very quick trade leading into the decision around the president later this year. But again, you could still aggressively trade this for a 2.5x. So for me, something like Trump on ETH is probably a 500 million to potentially billion, given the right circumstance, token. Now, obviously, the competitor, Biden or Bowden, all of his tokens or association tokens with Biden have literally gone to zero like this chart here. So something like this is a no-go for me, and this continues to go towards zero over time. Mumu, it's an interesting meme. I haven't actively traded it yet, purely because I do believe there's a lot of insiders in there who are shilling their bags without actually disclosing that they got paid or airdrop tokens. But for me, Mumu is a potential trade that I do think plays out. This is a strength in the chart. You've got influencers shilling it. So no matter what happens with that sort of context, this probably does push towards that sort of couple hundred million sort of range over the sort of coming months, I reckon, with that sort of play. Now, obviously, the top rune or meme coin on Bitcoin is Dog on the Moon, or Dog Go to the Moon, sorry. Again, we're seeing a beautiful little bull flag here. Not as good a chart as obviously Deck Screener, but as you can see, we're sort of playing out here after a beautiful move up. So something like this, which is only at 450 million, is probably definitely, again, being the top meme coin on Bitcoin, pushes towards that like multi-billion dollar sort of level. So for me, I will hold this rune only. I probably am not going to hold any other runes at this stage, but I would like to see this push up. I think 3 to 4x from here is inevitable just over a longer period of time. All right, let's move into the Ethereum tokens, guys. Now, Joe, this was probably one of the most early meme coins I got into. Last year in October, I got in at about 130K and I got out at about 7 million. It pumped obviously to 30 million. We've seen this massive sort of cup and handle play out for a very long time, but something like this, guys, could potentially pump given that ETH is about to have its ETF approval in the coming week. So for me, this could be easily a 50 to 100 million token on ETH. So I'm looking at this chart very nicely and think it could be a potential opportunity to catch a nice little 3 to 5x over the coming months. So keeping an eye on Joe. Bitcoin, Harry Potter, Obama, I can't even say it, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, Inu. Again, consolidating like Joe. And again, it's at 143 million. Something like this, guys, could easily trend up here, show strength and go bang like this. I think this is a $500 million token, which is still about a 3 to 4x from here over the course of this cycle. It probably doesn't go higher than that. Again, something like MOG and something like PEPE just has way more liquidity, way more interest. It's probably a stronger meme at the end of the day. So there is probably better gains to be made in my opinion, but I still think something like Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, Eno does push towards that $500 million range. All right, PEPE, or PEPE, whatever you want to say it, okay? This one's obviously a newer token. We've seen a lot of strength, and it's obviously here at 130 million at the moment. I think this pushes towards 500 million as well, guys. I probably wouldn't be buying it until we do see a bit of a pullback here personally. But yeah, it's a very strong meme, very strong community on Twitter. It's sort of a competitor to PEPE. So for me, this could push towards 500 million or more. All right, the next one is Giga. We're seeing a lot of, again, sort of influencers shield this particular token, but a lot of strength here, guys. Like this breakout here was amazing. It broke out exactly off the 0.786, which Greeny does love to trade, and it made like a 5x from that move, and we've been consolidating for a period of time, and we are starting to see this maybe break out towards the highs. Again, this is a very prominent meme on the timeline. There are a few influencers shilling it, which I'm not a big fan of, but at the end of the day, that helps it market and go a bit higher. But something like this probably pushes towards 500 million to a billion over time. All right, 2 more to go, guys. This one here, Retardio, is a very prominent meme, which we've seen recently. Obviously, we've got a lot of those sort of meme NFTs, and obviously we're seeing a lot of strength here now. Obviously in the chart, we consolidated sideways for a long period of time, broke up, retested all-time highs twice, and we're obviously consolidating currently like here. So I do think in the coming weeks and coming months that this does push towards that multiple $100 million in market cap. Now, the last one obviously is Billy, guys, a WIF competitor. It ran up to 50 million within a day, obviously got up to 250 million recently. We're consolidating here, but something like this, actually, I think I would rather trade something like this than trade WIF. Again, it's very similar play to WIF in terms of the meme strength and those sorts of things, but we saw a beautiful double bottom here. I do think we might retest here, retest, and then go again, but something like this definitely is probably worth a 500 million to $1 billion. As always, guys, comment down below any meme coins that you think and your price predictions for the meme coins that I included in this video. I'd love to compare what you're thinking with what I'm thinking, and obviously check out some of the meme coins that you guys are holding for the long term. Thanks for watching. So there you have it, guys. There are my price predictions for a lot of meme coins this cycle. As always, please subscribe down below. Smash it so that we can help the channel grow and get this education out to more people. As always, guys, do check out my trading group if you would like to join. There is currently a sale going on for 23% for either the month subscription or for the lifetime. Just use the code July_sale during the checkout process. As always, guys, see you in the next one.